Stream Elements, you are so wrong. First of all, Stream Elements, you didn't even do it the first time. So, what the hell? You didn't even do it when it actually should have happened hours ago. Interesting. Very interesting. Kind of weird that OBS would crash all of a sudden. It didn't even crash, but it just stopped. And also, Stream Elements shouldn't be Stream Elements. It should be Stan. Yeah, Stan the Fox. Also, it looks like Streamlabs isn't here with quotes. Fucking hell. Anyway, Streamlabs. What the hell? I'm fixing Streamlabs. Oh boy, I feel a sneeze coming on. Alright, great. Excellent. Perfect. Thank you, OBS. Very cool. Not. Not at all. Not in the fucking slightest. Oh yeah, wait, there's guns in this game? Gun. Sakai gun. YG1? Ooh. Yeah, I want that. Okay. Anyway, what was I doing? Oh, I was gonna get sand, and then I was gonna make the tanks. So I need 12 sand for 12 glass. I should do this over here. Cool. Well, that's a little bit more than I wanted. But I'll just do this. Okay. So, is the stream even existing anymore? Or is it actually, like, is it good or is it dead? Because all the numbers on my screen say it's fine. But who knows if that's the truth? Oh shoot, I need wool. Oh, wool. Oh wait, no, it has to be a certain type of wool, doesn't it? No. Not necessarily. But I do need strength. Whoa. Cool. Anyway, strength. Oh, wait, no, it said that there was a spider cave, right? Where was that? Right around here. Alright, well, if there's a spider cave underneath me, then I would like to get there. Crimsite. Is this where the cave is? What is this? Oh, my wake up alarm went off. Let me turn that off. I have 30 minutes until I need to be somewhere. Or until I need to start getting ready to go and be somewhere, but that's fine. Alright, where's the spider cave? I hear them. I just need 3 string. Dog, quit pushing me. There's definitely still another up. I lied. They're down. It wasn't me. It's a fucking whoopee cushion. The funniest shit ever, though. Hello, spiders. Oh, you hit me through walls? Aren't you so cool? Oh, I got poisoned. Yeah, let's do this. Let's not allow that to continue. Thank you, dog. Very nice. I'm gonna die. Dog, you pushing closer to me is not helping. You pushing me closer to the spiders is not helping. And stealing my food is also not helping. Just need 3 string. And I've got plenty. I would like... What is that? Ooh. Dog, get the fuck out of the way! I don't like that there's collision with the dog. It's not good. It's not helpful. Fucking dummy. Honestly, if that dog dies, it's probably for the better. You dummy. Didn't get me killed. Every time. Every time I shift. Yeah, eat up, dummy. Oh, I'm in it now. Oh, there's more. Oh, there's way more down below. What is that? Quad solar gem. Cool. What's this? A geode. That's nice. I'll take that string though. Alright, let's go. Let's get out of here. Ignore that spider. It wasn't real. It's your imagination. Okay. So. Wait, I need 2 of these? Yeah, 2 of the. Oh shit, I need gold. Oh. Need a singular gold. Aw, man. Aw, man. Damn, what do I do? Surely one of these villagers will trade, right? Surely. Oh boy. Backpack is desperately needed. Wait. Oh, no, I used all the string. Can I use this to make string back? No. Alright, I'm gonna go down there and get a little bit more string. So I can make a bow. I also need a bow for a gun. Alright. Get some bread. Big fan of bread. Okay. I need one singular piece of gold. Oh, wait, string. Where'd the... Need that. Can we move this inside? Okay. Bam. And then I need one copper and a flint and steel. Alright, so now I need a piece of flint. From gravel. There's a sunken house down here. Library. Oh my god, there's things. Well, first things first, I'm gonna drown. Okay. What else is down here? No gravel. That's for damn. God damn this whoopee cushion. It's so funny. Drive control. Drive control, very cool. Very poggers champs. There's something like 50 things, 50 effects or something that'll affect the game. Some good. Some affect me in good ways, some affect me in bad ways. But, yeah. Also, oh, stretch. Oh my god. 8 a.m. Okay. Beepo hay. Okay, so I have like 30 minutes until I need to start getting ready to go to my meeting. And then I go to my meeting, and then I'll be back and streaming. Okay. Just a heads up. And I'm not here for terribly long this morning, but once I get back, I will be streaming a lot. Which will be good and cool. I'm on the desperate hunt for a singular piece of gold. Fingers crossed. Oh my god, a sheep. I was hoping one of these villagers would be trading. Would be willing to part way with some gold. Oh, gravel right here. Wait, looting. I'm getting lazy. So true. No, but once I get back from the meeting, it shouldn't take that long. Then I'll do a 13-hour stream. Then I'll be here for forever. Oh, this guy doesn't trade. He's a warrior. Oh my god, it's a beetle. Oh, it's an ant. Oh, that's so cool. Yeah. Right. Emerald. I just remembered that there's a few of these little houses I haven't looted quite yet. Maybe these will have a piece of gold. Nope. Okay, well, you know what? This is right. Hi, Chrome. Welcome in, welcome in. Not too much is up. Oh, what I should do is take some of this, actually. Okay. Underwater caving is actually pretty good, but also dangerous. Okay, I'm full up. Alright, let's get going. Oh. Oh, I don't have to go far. Alright, cool. Well, that was nice. This house is just entirely underwater. And, kind of destroyed. Well, hey, that worked out. I don't have to go on a crazy long journey for this thing. Cool. Is that a fox? Fox. Oh, flint and steel. Wait, what? Okay, there we go. So this gun thing, 16 bullets for one. Actually, that's pretty good. This charcoal work. Modified by almost unified. Unified, yes. Had duplicates, no. Okay. Damn, I was really hoping. Damn. $16 bullets. 232. Figure out how this works. Oh, it crashes the game. Okay. That's what it does. Thanks. Well, the game is loading back up. That's for sure. That's for damn sure. God damn it. Couldn't it just wait like 10 more minutes? We love elevator music. How's everyone's morning? Everyone has good coffee today. Or an energy drink if you're like me. Come on, Minecraft, load faster. What the hell? This elevator music is so stupid. Minecraft, where are you at? What's going on? Oh, there it is, maybe. Yep, it's loading. That's for damn sure. Okay, if it crashes the game again, then I'm not going to use that item. But if it also crashes again, then I'm gonna end and then get ready for my meeting a little bit early because it's a little bit of a drive. Hello, Minecraft. Oh my god. We're in. Maybe. Yep. There we go. Oh, which one was it? Yeah, it was this one. Read world data faster. Oh yeah, so I tried to do, there's a world generation type in this mod pack called stratospherical, and it took 3 days to generate the world, like real world days. And then once I loaded up the world, it was just floating biomes above the void. And that, I don't think that would have made for a fun playthrough. So I wasted three real world days generating a Minecraft world. Also, hopefully the world isn't corrupted. Okay, it's not, but also it looks like the... Okay, whoa, first of all, yeah, it's gonna be a little framey here at the start, I guess. It's gotta load, it's gotta think. Oh yeah, that first world behavior, that first load in behavior. It looks like it loaded up the ammo, but it didn't, but it crashed? I don't know. If I right click again, if it crashes, I'm gonna end and I'm gonna get ready for my meeting. Okay, it didn't. Yes, it did. Alright. Alright, so... Oh, look at it. Oh, it has a full-on crash error, too. The game crashed while exception in server tick loop. Error. No such method. Error. Void net Minecraft class 1937. Cool. Alright, well, hey. I'm gonna get ready for my meeting. And then I'll be back live again. And I won't use that item. And I could probably frankly delete the mod from the pack. But all right, well, hey, anyway, that's a cozy start, a cozy morning. I'll be back in a few hours.